Hello, my name is Jeremy. I am a paramedic and current nursing student, and welcome to The Real Truth. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep updated with the next videos, and let's go ahead and get started. In this video, I'm going to go over some tips on the opportunities you can have as a paramedic. You can become a firefighter. So in this case right here, in some portions of the country, fire and emergency medical services are combined. So that means that the firefighters are the ones that are coming in and pretty much working the 911 emergencies. If you have like a chest pain or anything like that, they would be over there to respond 911, and then they would transport you and stuff right there. So the requirements of that is usually you go to fire school, they would get you your EMT, and then a lot of times you would have to also be like a paramedic to get hired. You can get hired as a fire EMT, but it increases your chances of getting hired as a firefighter paramedic. So the schooling for that is generally, if you do your fire, it could be 3 months or 3 months or 6 months if you're working. EMT, additional 3 months, so that's 9 months right there. And then you medic, you can do like 9 months to a year if you needed to. So you're looking at approximately like a year and a half to 2 years. So like it comes with 24 on, 48 off. You can get more time, and some departments even have like have it with Kelly days, and yeah, that can basically work right there. You can get a lot of free time and go from there. So the next aspect of being a paramedic, the next opportunity of being a paramedic, you can do inter-facility, which you would just be hired with a ambulance company. You can do like, the downside is it is for the most part on the lower end of the pay, but you have a good amount of overtime, so you have opportunity to increase that time. So that's another aspect. Another opportunity that you have as a paramedic, if you don't want to do inter-facility, which is from A to B, from hospital discharge or nursing home to emergency room, if things are just completely fucked up, is you can do paramedic security. So what that basically is a lot of higher end communities that has country clubs, yachts, and all this other stuff. To bring up the real estate, they look up the response time of EMS and paramedics and stuff, right? So in order to bring up their stock, they hire security companies that also hire paramedics, so they can increase their response time to medical emergencies. So with them basically having a paramedic on site 24/7 increases their stock, and it makes us like, okay, yeah, it definitely is a bargaining chip right there. So, and roughly the salary for that can range, and you can make on average from, I believe, like 20 to 25 an hour straight out of new grad pay. Depending on where you're at, it could be overtime, it could not be overtime, but it really just depends on where you work. I know that's how it works for the South Florida area, but there's also different areas across the country that does paramedic security. So another thing you could do as a paramedic is you can become a BLS instructor, which is basically like a CPR instructor. You could be a ACLS instructor, advanced cardiac life support instructor. You could be a PALS instructor. You can brand yourself and pretty much go from there. You can go to different fire departments, find it at a cheaper rate, or you can go to like different hospitals if you have the connections and go from there. Another opportunity that you have, and this is usually if you're already on an EMS department or your fire department, you can do hazmat, which boosts up your pay like anywhere from, depending on your department. And I know Miami-Dade County, I think it's like 5% pay increase for having your hazmat. You can do driver, you can be LT, and you can do rescue diving. You can be a flight medic. It's competitive, but those are areas where you can go to within the firefighter and paramedic aspect that you could basically increase your pay and expand it right there also. So like that you would have to go with your local area and your EMS department, but but you can increase your pay with that as well. So another opportunity as a paramedic is you can work in a hospital. Generally speaking, in a hospital, it really depends on the area. They kind of lowball paramedics, but some hospitals pay better than others. But I know in our area, the general starting pay can range anywhere from 15 to like 24 an hour for a hospital paramedic. Coming out of school, you're probably going to be at the 15. But it's a good transition if you plan on basically going from paramedic to nurse, because like you're going to be in the ER setting. If you want to work with that, it's a foot in the door. You get your experience, you get in right there, you get more familiar with it and stuff, and then you can actually see the uncut thing. Because like if you decide to go with the paramedic security aspect, you respond 911 over there. You treat 911, fire rescue or whatever rescue zone that's in there comes in. You pretty much let them know, give them a report, they transport the patient and go from there. You only see it from the first responder aspect. From a hospital perspective, you see them coming in, you see like, okay, they were involved in a fire, burned from got 60% burns from the waist down and stuff. You learn how to do burn treat wounds. You learn how to do gunshot wounds. You learn how to do tourniquets if you need to. You know how to control things. It's more, you get the overall experience, and you run codes with a staff. So anybody who's ever worked EMS knows that running a code is chaotic, but if you're in a hospital, it's a little bit more controlled chaos. Like, I'm not going to say it's 100% more, but it's usually more than out in the field. I know like with like different crews and stuff, like it can run by a lot smoother and stuff because they know each other, but usually codes are pretty chaotic and stuff like it, and you can only control chaos so much. All right, so another aspect that that is a good opportunity for paramedics also is like whatever company you decide to go with. If you're tired of being on the road, you can basically do dispatch. I know paramedic versus dispatch. Dispatch is like always with the late calls of your inter-facility. Every paramedic or EMT knows where I'm talking about. That like, hey, yeah, it's pre-scheduled. It's not 911, but they get that late call. It's like for whatever bullshit reason. But, you know, it's an option out there for you. I wouldn't do it, but whatever. And then finally, there's management. You can do management, and it's a significant boost in pay. It's anywhere from like 5 to 10%, or if it goes to the salary, you can have it like significant boost. So those are different opportunities as a paramedic that you could basically go from there. So what my question to end this video is, which one of these that I just brought up resonates with you? Which aspect of being a paramedic do you picture yourself doing? Like, comment, and subscribe, and more content on the way. Make sure you comment down so I can get more feedback. All right? Bye.